2 or 3 weeks ago, you'll remember we did ES220 Eurosonic hand portable, and we ended up having to replace a coil which had been broken in the receiver. It was a situation where the set would be scrap had we not managed to do that, and we managed to find an identical coil in a Kerno, I think it was 3001 or something, isn't it? Anyway, let's hope this isn't as bad. I mean, the radio worked alright, but we don't want to be having blowtorches at sets. But the fact they'll have come from the same private sale, it just makes you wonder, you know, if the vendor was a fiddler. I mean, a lot of these people end up not tweaking them up, but tweaking them down. Okay, we'll push it from the bottom as well. And then we need to revisit this customer's what's he got? Thunderbolt 3000, the one with the Duff transistor in it. But before that, we've got a Binatone 5-star. So we're going to put that in there. I can't work with cigarette lighter things, so that can stay put. We will use, I'll go and get one of our Midland 77805 power leads that we make. We might use the other one. It's a bit thinner, isn't it? That supposedly, yeah. Okay, so we're powered up. I also need a sheet of paper, which the printer has ejected onto the floor as a special treat for me. These sets power up on channel 9, just to annoy us all. I wonder if that's a thing in any country in the world, channel 9 anymore. I'm not sure it was ever a thing. It wasn't legally binding in the UK. It was recommended to stay clear of it and only use it for emergencies. It's probably the 13th today. That sounds like a good number to put down. ES220 set 2, and it's 405 3347. So we've got this on our power lead, because if you remember, the power lead which came out of the box couldn't source the kind of current that we were wanting. So let's put it on channel 20. Let's put it on channel 20. And we need to plug our aerial in through a BNC adapter. By aerial, I mean the test equipment. That's TNC. I think we want BNC. Always going to be a slight loss in adapters. Test gear's been on long enough. Right. He's doing 3.1 watts. .1 watt, channel 40, oh, it's not a happy bunny. Have I pressed low power? Yeah, I pressed low power. 2.9 watts. The clipboard must have pressed that down. Now they've got low power and it's not in line with what MPT 1320, which is shown as compliance with the CB2781 logo, is supposed to be 400 milliwatts for low power, but on these it's supposed to be set for 1 watt. Let's go back to channel 20 so it's a fair test. It is actually 420 milliwatts, more where I'd want it. And our transmit current on low power, on full power, is 1.179. You've not got a meter. We're not doing the VCO, we don't have a method. Frequency. $27,79091, very close. So to be fair, we'll set that into the signal generator. $27,79091. That'll do. Of course it should be 79125. So let's see what it's doing on receive. We'll put the signal generator on, we'll show the SINAD meter, which I will switch on as a special treat. Now we've got an extension aerial socket, earphone socket. We plug that into, and let's hope we don't need to add the ear. No, it's coming through fine. .57. Ooh, I'll be cheating if I put 1 down, but it isn't. It's 1.1. 10 dB. 0.51. Squelch. Bearing in mind it's a walkie-talkie. 3, 10, 30, 100. It is 2.25 millivolts, very high. Let's turn the volume down a bit. And the minimum we're parked at 0.3, switch back on. Is a not very good 1.8. So I've only done one 7 days ago, but I've totally forgotten what adjustments these have got. Deviation on this test set. Wallow. Saying 3.2. I hope it isn't. So there we are, that's all our preliminary set. If I've still got the other on the clipboard, I have. So we got, after all that work on the other, we got 0.61. So this one's already working better than how we managed to get the other one. We got 3.2 watts after service, and this one's already doing 3.1. So and the other one was 059 its frequency. This one's 091. So this is like a working set that just needs a very basic service, whereas the other one was faulty. My late mother always said, do the hard jobs first. It was totally random, but I did, didn't I? I'll just disconnect the power, just disconnect the extension speaker. We'll get the lids off. Hold the screwdriver. Considering these were $89.99 at the time, I think they were good value. They are a set that actually work. Not sure the other screws are going to bother coming out. We might not need to worry. So we do the transmitter right away. I've got other things to do. Right, main meter. First issue is the aero socket's not always making contact. Just wondering if the pin's not always making contact. I don't think it's our end, because we're using a gold plated adapter. Tell you what, we'll use a different adapter in case it doesn't like that one. Well, that adapter's now on the floor anyway. This is an old one which isn't exactly clean. Anyway, it works. So centre of the peak. Centre of the peak. Centre of the peak. That feels like it's a broken one. And I'm not going to take it any further because we're going to end up just disconnect this. Bang this on the desk. Yeah, I can see it cracking two of those. I'm also satisfied they're in the right position. And they are moving, but I'm with the greatest of care. You know what? I'm beginning to think there's a dry joint on this. It's rarely connecting. It's actually been quite damp at some time in its life. Let's see whether it behaves better now. Right, back where we were. I think we'll do the deviation and then we'll let the radio cool down. This is the fun point where I have to go for a little walk. Right, I'll come back in a bit. Oh, I think we'll put the radio on frequency next. If I can see the trimmer. Right, select camera 2. Oh, it's 4 toggling 5. Right, we'll do the receiver. No CB work yesterday on Sunday. I got 4 church services. I started off at 9 o'clock. And I was at Syston Church, which is quite unusual. It's not one of my contract ones, but I was asked to play there. And you know what? A few days before, somebody who we know lives about 11 miles away and is a viewer of this channel, left a hymn book on my doorstep, and it was the 1950s edition of Hymns Ancient and Modern. Now obviously it's been well superseded, and the churches I'm at, the 6 churches I'm at under contract to, and the other one, London Thorpe, I do play at. It's Ancient and Modern 1985 edition, Songs of Fellowship, Hymns of oh dear, what is it? Hymns Old and New, the Anglican edition, and oh, there's another one we have regularly as well. So it certainly isn't that. Anyway, what would you believe? It was Syston have the 1950 edition of Hymns Ancient Modern, and I really struggle because they've got the music edition they've got on the organ is the smallest music edition print one you can get. So what I have to do is to print out. I have to photocopy all the hymns that I'm having that day if I'm at Syston, and print them out A4 so I can actually read it. Anyway, matey gave me this hymn book, and I'm looking for a piece of paper, and it belonged to a late friend of his, and it was the 1950 copy of Ancients and Modern, and it was the full-size organ edition, so I had the honour of playing from that. And so, what are the chances of, you know, that happening, getting the 1950 edition and then being asked to play 2 days later? So I had that at 9 o'clock, I had 11 o'clock at Ancaster. Then I was told I'd got a baptism at 12:30 sprung on me, so I did that at Ancaster, and then we went on to London Thorpe in the afternoon for 4 o'clock. So I was absolutely knackered. Right, we are done, and my fingers have probably recovered. So we're on frequency. I brought my notes out, my handwritten scrawled notes. So we're on frequency. Let's see what this signal generator sounds like. It doesn't sound like anything because there's no speaker attached, is there? No, Mr. Tango, there's no speaker attached. Turn it down a bit. Oscilloscope on. Camera 3 selected. And Mr. Chippie's got a nasty wasp sting on him. He put his trainers on, and they're shoes if you're not sure what trainers are in another country. And there was clearly a wasp lurking in one of them, and so it stung him, and it's come up with a right blister. So I don't know whether he's going to see the doctor about that or what. Do you know what? Where's picture in picture? Have we had the power off or something? I need to check that one. That might be done with the SINAD meter. Let's have a look. Let's go over to that. Put a bit less signal on. It's there, isn't it? Right, I'll put even less signal on, do the front end. Well, that's one that's not broken. That's right. That's right. Looks to be in the correct position. Let's put a bigger skin on. I'm going to put a different tone on. Recheck this. Let's see what SINAD we've got now. We've got 4.3. Oh, 4.3. Wow. .5, 20, 0.84. Yeah, I think in this one they're definitely fiddled with it, because I say 2 of those cores are broken but moving. I think that's got fiddled with too. But the figures speak for themselves, don't they? Because it wouldn't have left the factory as incapable on receive as that, and it's so much better than the other set. Nothing wrong with the other set. There was a lot of comments on that on the air test of how good that was, and no doubt this is going to be great as well. But I'm very chuffed about that. Now it does have squelch, so let's put the squelch to full. I'm going to put my signal generator to 100 microfarads. I can't remember how potent the squelch is on these sets. Oh yeah, too much, isn't it? I want it to go off. So it's off at 30 microvolts. It's on at 100 microvolts. So we've got 100 microvolts full squelch. Now I've got a fighting chance at the other end, especially with the IF being out, that the squelch is going to work better than 1.8 microvolts, because that would be a up round scratchy corner. So I hope we've fixed that. So let's have a look. Turn the squelch down, turn the signal generator to standby, set the signal generator to 0.3 of a microvolt, advance the squelch to threshold, signal generator back on. Oh no, it's still lousy. It's still 1.8, that's rubbish. Is it my fingers? Let's just see. It's more of my fingers, that one. Yeah, oh, 0.85. So you have to be careful how you set these. I no doubt we had that with the other one. Yeah, 0.9 to 100 microvolts. So we got 3.1 before on transmit, and we got 3.2 on the other one after tuning it up. So let's have a look at. I'll turn that oscilloscope off, turn that SINAD meter off. Let's have a look at the main meter and see what our power now is. So channel 20, here we go. I'm in the wrong scale. It's 3.4. .4. 3.4. I've got that balanced. So this one will do an extra 10 feet than the other set. Low power isn't adjustable, you get what you're given. Let's go to channel 20. Low, let's turn the volume down as well. Low power, I think it's that one. It's not that one. It is that one. It's now 450 milliwatts. And our current consumption on full power is 1.177. 1.177. So it was 1.179 before, and we're now getting a third of a watt more. It's gone up from 3.1 to 3.4, and it's drawing 20 milliamps less power. There you go. So we are done. Okay, I'm going to unplug the aerial because there could have been a dry joint on that. I can't prove whether it was my end or what's stopping this going in. Yep. So the two I didn't put in the cup are the bottom screws. So I'm going to do a video which 99% of you will hate. I'm going to go into my private chapel and I'm going to play the 3 hymns we had on Sunday from the hymn book that Matey has donated to us. So you all get to know what I did. Any of you following the radiogram saga, we are at the stage where there's a video, but we're at the stage where I've put the first capacitors in the power supply part of it. So your mains goes in, it goes through a mains transformer. You then have a rectifier valve to turn it into DC, and it's a full wave rectifier, not a half wave rectifier. And then it goes into 3 capacitors to smooth it. And so I've changed those 3 capacitors. So with no other valves in, it's not series strung like a lot of American sets are, and some of the cheaper UK ones were in the 50s and 60s. It's because it's transformer operated, you can just put in 1 valve at a time. So I put the first valve in, which is the rectifier valve. I had no results, so I ordered a second-hand rectifier valve which came the other day. So that's where we are with it. But I've just done another one of those. Why on earth would I bid on another one? Because we've got the smashed up one which I'm restoring, that's the one we're working on. We've got the one that I bought which is in one piece, so I can use it as a pattern, so I know where all the interconnecting cables go, which have been removed and thrown away. But this third one, which is also cost, I think it was £12, Huddersfield way, you've got to go and collect that. But it comes with the original instruction book and the guarantee card. And obviously I need to claim under guarantee, don't I, 1955, if it's not working. You know what, they didn't do themselves any favours. They showed it working on the video. There was a little video of it not working. You know, Record Player Works Radio doesn't. And he's playing a stereo record on a mono record player, which of course can't track, and it's wrecking the record. That's good, isn't it? Wreck the record. So he's got a, you know, if you've got a stereo compatible stylus, it's not going to wreck the record, but you've got to make sure the tracking weight's right, so you're going to wreck the record. So I just cannot believe they did that. They put a record on, an LP stereo record, and of course it's all over the place. Needs some TLC. Well, yeah, you need to be playing a mono record and check the stylus is okay. Has all this been lost? Can't people work anything anymore? You've got the instruction book in front of them, for goodness sake. Right. Test set off. So we didn't have to touch the deviation because it was already spot on. That's a 1 in a million chance, isn't it? So we'll plug it into the roof aerial. Every video I say what this is. It is a Solarcon 99 without the optional ground plane kit. It's mounted just above the gutter height of a single-story building. It's broadside into a tiled roof with their concrete quarry tiles. So it only just pokes out above the roof by 2 feet or something. That's what we use for the on-the-air test. And the reason is that I don't want to have the biggest and best aerial that can be bought. I want to have an ordinary aerial mounted in an ordinary position, so these tests are ordinary. The only probably extraordinary thing we do is we always use cars with drilled in aerial mounts, not mag mounts, and that does make a difference. I used to get customers at Nottingham Radio. You know when car phones first came in, the blooming great big fitted things with a boot pack, and you know, we were getting fittings for those, and no, I'm not plugged in. And you know, right, we want a fitting doing on a car phone, so, but none of them wanted to do car drilling. You know, so well, who's the car for? You or for somebody else? I think it was always for somebody else. I think a lot of these are leased, aren't they? They can't drill holes in the car because it isn't their car. You know, we bought that Nissan Almera just over coming up to 2.5 years ago. I've just had the second MOT. I did have to have the brake pads changed, and so that was that. So including the brake pads changed and the MOT and everything, and the garage picked it up from my home and brought it back, the fee was £142. And that's a car with only 80-something thousand on the clock. It's air conditioned, but it's 21 years old. And, you know, that's how to do cars, not people paying thousands of quid a month on hire. But then it's important to me that I look like a piece of what's it? Right. Are we on full power? These are very indistinct. So I think it is. Remember, you can switch the LED off. There's a tone switch. On this little speaker you can't tell the difference. 1 Anna Roger. I'm on the wrong aerial. That's the test instruments. Thought it sounded a bit quiet. 19 Roger. Well, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and it doesn't sound like the Nottingham Burner Brigade are up. Bearing in mind I'm 35 miles from Nottingham, 7.5 miles from Grantham, 7.5 miles from Sleaford, in the middle of nowhere. Suits me down to the ground, and there you have it. An ES220 that works better on paper than the previous ES220 from the same customer. Thanks for watching.